serving up Texas' hottest original acts. The all-you-can-eat Texas Music Cafe boldly goes where commercial radio and television fear to tread. So kick up your heels for another exciting episode from the all-you-can-eat Texas Music Cafe.
Hi, welcome to Texas Music Cafe. This is Rachel, your host for the evening. Tonight is the first of a three-part series of our Country Blues Songwriter Evening. And to start off, we have Tim Stiles. Thank you very much.
Oh, how y'all doing out there? Good, I'd like to hear that. I got a check the other day, a royalty check, which was a nice change of pace. It wasn't for very much, but I knew that I'd have enough gas money to come over here, so that was nice. And anyway, this song is a country artist out of California cut this song. His name is Joe Peters. You should go look him up. And he cut this and a couple other ones, so that was a nice little junk food money, you might call it. Anyway, I wrote this song. I've spent the, better part of the last 20 years on the road playing music, and that's what this song's about. It's called The Highway's Got Me Now. Across the desert, don't give up the fight. It's a long way to redemption, but I'll be home tonight. Got an aching in my heart and a ringing in my ears and a head full of ravens leaving after me for years. And I've had all the pain and sorrow one lifetime will allow. Go and tell my darling the highway's got me now. I've always had this feeling I never could sit still. I'd take a shot of whiskey just to chase away the chill. I'm somewhere west of midnight, only passing through, and you stare into the darkness, and it stares back into you. And I've had all the pain and sorrow one lifetime will allow. Go and tell my darling the highway's got me now. Yeah, the highway's got me now. Myself to blame, some sins you can atone, and I pray that God will know my name when He calls this poor boy home. Yeah, I've had all the pain and sorrow one lifetime will allow. Go and tell my darling the highway's got me now. I've had all the pain and sorrow one lifetime will allow. Go and tell my darling the highway's got me now. Yeah, the highway's got me now. Thank you all.
song's called Dangerous Endeavor. I lived in Mexico for a while, and I saw a lot of things go down there before I finally got out. Headed on down into no man's land just south of Hermosillo. I had 50 grand in the back of my boots and a pistol down in my waistband. Out in the desert where the cold wind blows, ain't no one to tell the story of what went down before the sun came up and the moon all big and shiny. It was a dangerous endeavor. It was a dangerous endeavor. I left Mexico and everything behind, and I ran while I still could, heading for the border with the change of my name in the Texas piney woods. In a town with an ear to the ground where no one knows my name. Sometimes I wake in a cold, cold sweat with a dream of them on my trail. It was a dangerous endeavor. It was a dangerous endeavor. Since I crossed the border with a hellhound on my trail. I got a nice man, gonna settle down, gonna listen to the night birds wail. And I'm never going back down south of the border, and I'm never gonna tell him why. Like a rattlesnake buzzing in the heat of the day, it's just better to let him lie. It was a dangerous endeavor. It was a dangerous endeavor. Thank you. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. Two, check, check. Two,
Where's the
check.
whiskey?
Oh, man. What a way to kick it off. I'm Dana Spigener. I'm from around these parts, about an hour east of here. Thank y'all so much for coming. This first song is just pretty much about lost love and how even sometimes even if it's lost, it might take a while to let go of it. Okay, it's for you then. Dropped a ring in my suitcase. Couldn't leave it behind. Yeah, I know it's over, but it just eases my mind. Never could keep you happy, I guess. Can't say I didn't try, but this could sting a little more than the rest. Watching your memory die. catch a train come morning, destination unknown, likely New Orleans or old San Antone. Can't see how it matters a lick where my boots hit the ground. Sister, you had one hell of a kick, and I can't put you down. There ain't no winners, we're all beginners, fumbling our way through without a real clue. Still there in my suitcase, getting harder to find. Tumbled down in a dark place, been a load off my mind. Sure one day it'll turn up again in a welcome surprise. Likely smile and remember back when, and probably tell you goodbye. Or maybe drop the ring in my suitcase. Yeah. Thank you.
This is about trying to please a woman, I suppose. The root of all good blues songs, you know. A little twist on it, though. The song's called Mama Don't Like. I fell in love with a waitress in a bad part of town. Tattoo on her ankle, a huckleberry hound. She kinda rough around the edges, but buddy, she's as fine as they come. Hey, daddy says she's alright, but mama don't like her none. She got lips like good bourbon that burn real sweet, sends a funny little tingle from my head to my feet, like electric honey is dripping right off her tongue. Hey, daddy says she's alright, but mama don't like her none. She like grits and gravy, she like pecan pie, she like watermelon pickles on the 4th of July, and she comes in strutting, looking hotter than a smoking gun. Hey, daddy says she's alright, but mama don't like her none. fell in love with a waitress in a bad part of town. Tattoo on her ankle, a huckleberry hound. She kinda rough around the edges, but buddy, she's as fine as they come. Yeah, daddy says she's alright, but mama don't like her none. Yeah, daddy says she's alright, but mama don't like her none. Hey, I know mama don't like her, but daddy and I'm sure she's the one. Oh, thank you all.
It's been too long since that gleam in your eye shined its little light my way. That old crooked smile I haven't seen for a while. Let's go out and put the dirty back and dancing. There's a full moon tonight, everything is alright. Let's go out and put the dirty back and dancing. I'll wear that little dress you used to love and put on my red cowboy boots. And that tight black t-shirt still looks good on you. Let's go out and put the dirty back and dancing. There's a full moon tonight, everything is alright. Let's go out and put the dirty back and dancing. I filled up the piggy bank with old pocket change. I think that we've got enough. Anyway, our credit's still good at the bar. Let's go out and put the dirty back and dancing. There's a full moon tonight, everything is alright. Let's go out and put the dirty back and dancing. That old juke joint down on River Road has the coldest beer in the county. There's sawdust on the floor and a game of shuffleboard. Let's go out and put the dirty back and dancing. There's a full moon tonight, everything is alright. Let's go out and put the dirty back and dancing. Let's go out and put the dirty back and dancing. Thank you.
Yeah.
That one, by the way, was called Let's Put the Dirty Back in Dancing.
Ain't it an adventure? You don't know what you're going to hear next. Okay, this one's just pretty much just about taking that leap of faith. We all have to do that now and then. Getting your butt whooped and getting back up. Never been easy to make ends meet. Scraping and clawing to stay on my feet. Pick my head up when it hits the ground. Find a little more love and spread it around. Sometimes just can't help believing. Long about past high time for leaving. Know she's the one, but the ends won't meet. A little bit of taste of love ain't all that sweet. So when it seems like these days it's uphill both ways, rows out in creeks too deep. Guess it's time for another leave. Been lost as a hound dog in the weeds, missed the forest for the tree, crying, hey neighbor, won't you pull me on through that old worn out tail? Ain't nothing new. Son, sure enough, take a licking. Been getting by on a little slim picking. Let it slide right off of my back. Count my blessing while the wolf gets fat. So when it seems like these days it's uphill both ways, roads out and the creek's too deep, guess it's time for another leave. I've touched the stars and landed on my feet. Easy for me. So when it seemed like these days it's uphill both ways, roads out and the creek's too deep, guess it's time for another leave. Guess it's time for another leave. Guess it's time for another leave. Thank you.
Speaking of leap of faith, a number of years ago, a friend of mine asked me to be his best man at his wedding, and that was a terrible decision on his part. And I drove all the way across the country to be at this wedding, and the whole drive over there, I'm thinking to myself, what the hell am I going to say for a speech? You know, best man's got to give a speech, and so I'm trying to think of something to say, and all I could come up with as a toast was, here's to those who love the things that kill us slowly, and to those who slowly kill the things we love.
Ooh.
And they're divorced now, so that didn't work out too well for them. But I got this song out of the deal anyway. It's called Another Shot of Whiskey. Out here on the road to self-destruction, been running like I'll never run no more. There's a town just up ahead called where angels fear to tread. Feel like we've been down this way before. So pour us both another shot of whiskey, and we'll toast to the moon and stars above. For those who love the things that kill us slowly, yeah, and those who slowly kill the things we love. Heaven knows I've had my share of troubles. Some might even say I paid my dues. But just when I think the storm will pass, a voice inside my empty glass whispers, every poet needs a muse. So pour us both another shot of whiskey, and we'll toast to the moon and stars above. For those who love the things that kill us slowly, and those who slowly kill the things we love. Well, a broken heart is like a loaded gun, and I wear mine proud for everyone to see. After all I've done and said is said and done, this life is gonna be the death of me. So pour us both another shot of whiskey, and we'll toast to the moon and stars above. For those who love the things that kill us slowly, and those who slowly kill the things we love. Here's to those who love the things that kill us slowly, and those who slowly kill the things we love.
So when I lived in Mexico, I had a booking agent and a guitar player, Spanish guitar player that played with me, and my best paying gig was at a whorehouse. And I was finishing my first set, and the owner came over, put an empty cardboard box on the edge of the stage and said, "When you finish your set, help us load out all the whiskey because the federales are coming." So I got the box, and he put a bunch of bottles in it, and I went out to the white Ford Econoline van at the door, and we loaded everybody up, and we pulled up the stop sign and burned one while I watched the cops go in the back. And then we back down the street, and all the Johns came back, all the prostitutes came back, and I finished another set. That's where this song comes from, and I wrote it on a Christmas morning and played it at a Christmas party, which is probably not very appropriate for a Christmas party, but... She was born in a border town some 21 years ago, to a black-eyed Spanish beauty some called San Antonio Rose, with a tattoo on her shoulder and a bottle in her hand. It was a long, slow decline for Carmelita. It was a long, slow decline for Carmelita. She was working in Soledad Bar when she took up with Manuel. He was splashing money and cocaine, just fresh out of jail. She kissed the Virgin de Guadalupe she wore around her neck. It was a long, slow decline for Carmelita. It was a long, slow decline for Carmelita. She rode shotgun in a '69 Chevy with Manuel at the wheel. They were heading down to Brownsville, trying to make a deal. But the bullets flew and 2 men fell, and that was all she wrote. It was a long, slow decline for Carmelita. It was a long, slow decline for Carmelita. They crossed that border flying, heading towards Monterrey. They stopped for gas and Saltillo, just on down the way. She threw a bottle through the windshield as he drove off in the night. It was a long, slow decline for Carmelita. It was a long, slow decline for Carmelita. She found work down in La Zona Rosa, working for Madre Miel. She turned 21 high on heroin, just trying to stay out of jail. She pawned the Virgin de Guadalupe and scored just one last time. It It was a long, slow decline for Carmelita. It was a long, slow decline for Carmelita. And the spirit of Carmelita goes floating down the hall. In La Casa de Madre Mia, a name scratched there in the hall. And no one shed a tear, no one called out her name. It was a long, slow decline for Carmelita. It was a long, slow decline for Carmelita. She was born in a border town some 21 years ago to a black-eyed Spanish beauty, some called San Antonio Rose, with a tattoo on her shoulder and a bottle in her hand. It was a long, slow decline for Carmelita. It was a long, slow decline for Carmelita. It was a long, slow decline for Carmelita. Thanks. Nice Christmas song.
This is just my puppy love song here. Two kids on the porch swing since we was babies, just thick as thieves. But girl, I just had to notice how the sun lit your hair, a gold autumn leaf. Something was brewing, the boy can't understand. I knew it had me when you touched my hand, and I couldn't have known you were already gone, and I couldn't tell when the curtain fell. I just couldn't see past you and me, still not believing, standing there watching you leaving. Well, day after day, dreaming and scheming what I might say when you slipped through that screen door. All of my best plans fade right away. So I held that hand, kept the card up my sleeve, just betting on the promise that you'd never leave. And I couldn't have known you were already gone, and I couldn't tell when the curtain fell. I just couldn't see past you and me, still not believing, standing there watching you. Well, I guess this big old world didn't know that I was your beau, and it turned your pretty head in the end. You can take this heart with you, lady. Don't think I'll need it again. I couldn't have known I'd be good on my own and and I couldn't tell. I'd be wishing you well, but now I think I can see you without me. Past that lost, lonely feeling, standing there watching you leaving, with a smile in my heart, your hand, standing there watching you. So long, baby. Thank you.
I'm going to do a song. I actually just recorded this song after about, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago. I wrote this song, and it's kind of a bummer, so sorry about that. But I have no idea why I wrote this song. It's a story song, and it kind of came out of left field. And I get invited every year. I have been lucky enough, anyway, for the last several years to be invited to the Frank Brown International Songwriters Festival in Perdido Key, Florida. It's right on the Florida-Alabama line, and it's a very, very cool thing if you ever get a chance to go over there. Some 200 songwriters, something like that, get invited. And I'm fortunate. I don't know why they let me tag along, but I decided to do this. It's a very intimate room, much like tonight, and I decided to do this song, and I did it, and I came down off the stage, and this woman come up to me, and she was just bawling. And I said, well, I'm sorry about that. What's the matter? She said, that was my brother's story. Almost verbatim, it was his story. So I always like to say that wherever she is tonight, I'm glad I wrote that song. It seemed to bring her some comfort that night. So other than that, I'm still out here not knowing why I wrote it. But it's called Texas 1989. They always said that I was simple, just a junkyard kid from Temple. I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. My daddy was a Union man, did 2 tours in Vietnam, fell asleep and crashed his rig a few years back. I left home at 17, rode my thumb to Abilene, found a job in a roadside tire shop. But the wind blows where it will. I took a 50 from the tail, stole a car and wound up running from the cops. But a year and 6 months later, I was out on good behavior, sorry for the things that I had done. I broke parole and moved to Aiken, pulled a couple small-time break-ins, I pawned a radio and got a gun. It was just a simple in and out, would have gone without a doubt if that fella hadn't gotten in the way. But the next thing that I knew, buckshot tore the night in two, and I swear my ears are ringing to this day. It was over in a hurry. Every member of that jury said if I was free, I'd do it all again. They didn't even bat an eye when they sentenced me to die. Mama said the devil's hands are cold as sin. Feeling like a coward, I counted down the hours, just waiting for that man to call my name. shaking so damn bad by then they could hardly strap me in as they pumped their so-called justice through my veins. Now I can hear the preacher praying, but I can't tell you what he's saying as my vision slowly rolls away to black. They always said that I was simple, just a junkyard kid from Temple. I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks.
This is going to be the title cut on my next CD that's almost finished. And I was playing in Netherlands, in northwestern Netherlands, and I left the club late at night and walked about 2 blocks back to the hotel, and some guy grabbed me in a chokehold and said, "I've done terrible things you don't know." And then I just froze, and I couldn't scream, I couldn't breathe. And then he said it again, and I still didn't move, so then he got bored, I guess, and left. So then I got back to my hotel and slept about 3 hours, I guess, and caught a train that broke down, then got another train that ran over someone, and then got on another train that had unexploded ordnance. But I was playing in southern Germany, and I was only about 15 minutes late to the gig, so I just played straight through. So I walked into the stage and handed my cord to the sound man and said, "Plug me in." And when I walked in the room, everybody stood there and applauded because they were getting blow-by-blow descriptions of what was going on. So the review the next day said, in spite of this, and this that happened, she walked in, she plugged in, and she brung it. I figured this I can do. Let me try tuning this. That might help. Start that again. There's a place in North Netherlands I'd dearly love to be. Always felt like home to me. A place where I once stood, I'd be there if I could. At the crossroads of hell and Spijkerboord. I was standing at the crossroads when I started sinking down. I could not claw my way up from the ground. If I could do it all again, I'd fly there in the wind at the crossroads of hell and Spijkerboord. on this pathway that I've chosen, and the miles that lay between the devil and the voice of sanity. I'd be there in my dreams, behind the muffled screams, at the crossroads of hell and Spikerboard. I was standing at the crossroads when I started sinking down. I could not claw my way up from the ground. If I could do it all again, I'd fly there in the wind, at the crossroads of hell and Spikerboard. At the crossroads of hell and Spikerboard. Thanks.
This is my truck driving song. I always wanted to write a truck driving song, but every time I tried, it just kind of turned out like all the other ones. But my wife, Carrie DeLean, she was a truck driver, and it took a long time, a lot of years for me to finally figure out we just need to co-write something we know about. So this is like 40 some odd years ago is where this song goes. When Carrie DeLean was on a truck, big truck, hauling freight cross country with Larendale, our oldest boy, on the truck in diapers. So that kind of lends itself to a pretty interesting story, which helped me out a lot to finally get my truck driving song written. But the name of this song is Chasing the Wind. Baby in a sleeper, mama behind the wheel. Don't think you could keep her from backing in on time, and she'll be loading up, rolling out. In a blink, there ain't no doubt she'll be long gone. Trucking on in that 4 1/4 cat. 15 speed overdrive, 390 rear end. She's gone again. And that boy won't never hear mama even scratch a gear, keeping it between the lines, belting out some red soul vine and moving freight from coast to coast, in and out just like a ghost, with a little darling sitting between the seats, rubbing the shifter with his baby toes in that 4 1/4 cat. 15 speed overdrive, 390 rear end. She's gone again. Flying down that grade too steep, ass might take a bite of your seat, but she knows how good it feels sitting back down on 18 wheels, peeled eyeballs and white out blizzards, new convoys and old lot lizards that look just like Marie LeBeau. Hop in, boy, it's time to go. breaker, breaker, this is kissing sweet and that baby boy tough enough. Heading back out on the interstate, westbound for Shaky Town. Unloaded LAX, turn around, bump that dock at DFW, hauling air freight, flying low, we're out. Red sunset, blue morning sky, front row seat, howling through the night with that hammer down for the next town. West Coast turn around, they might never touch the ground in that 4 1/4 cat, 15 speed overdrive, 390 rear end, she's gone again. Chasing the wind, gone. Thank you, thank you.
I wasn't going to do this song, but I'm going to do it anyway. I was playing a show in Amarillo, and I was opening for this country band, and the show, my set went fine, good enough. And I was sitting at the bar, the band was getting ready to set up, and I was sitting there, and there was this big old squishy cowboy and this big old squishy cowgirl, and they were there from Oklahoma. They were on a little lover's getaway, you might say, and things were going off the rails real fast. I think they were drinking a little too much, a little too quick, kind of thing. And I'm sitting there trying not to listen, but, they're all decked out in their Western duds, all their finery. And at one point, this argument continued, and at one point, he looks at her and he goes, "Well, who the hell died and made you queen?" And so I wrote in my little notebook there, I wrote Queen of Texas. And so I went back to the hotel and I wrote the majority of this song. I didn't call to argue with you, darling. I hope you're happy with what's his name. And I don't care if you date every cowboy in the Lone Star State. In the end, I've just myself to blame. But I always was a fool for your affection, and you done tore this country boy apart. You think someone died and made you Queen of Texas, the way you broke my Oklahoma heart. Oh, yeah. Honey, you can cuss me out from hell to breakfast, pour your buttermilk right down the kitchen sink. After all is said and done, I hate to break it to you, hon, your biscuits ain't as fluffy as you think. But I always was a fool for your affection, and you done tore this country boy apart. You think someone died and made you Queen of Texas, the way you broke my Oklahoma heart. Yeah. You think someone died and made you Queen of Texas, the way you broke my Oklahoma heart. All of y'all.
How many songs are we doing? I thought we were only doing 4. Good, it's not just me then. Okay. My mama, she done told me, Papa done told me too, that curly-headed man will make a fool out of you. The first time that I saw you, you had two girls in the back and one more in the front of that Cadillac. That top was folded down, your hair blowing all around in that vintage 67 Cadillac. That two-tone cherry red that would surely turn your head in that vintage 67 Cadillac. The next time that I saw you, you went driving all alone. So I flagged you down and hopped into that red two-tone. You took me for a ride, then you left me by the side of the road in that vintage Cadillac. That top was folded down, your hair blowing all around in that vintage 67 Cadillac. That two-tone cherry red that would surely turn your head in that vintage 67 Cadillac. So I went out to the car lot and I laid my money down. Now I'm driving round in my vintage Cadillac. I passed you on the street and it surely did feel sweet with the top down in my vintage Cadillac. That top was folded down and my hair blowing all around in that vintage 67 Cadillac. That two-tone cherry red that would surely turn your head in that vintage 67 Cadillac. In my vintage 67 Cadillac.
Okay, this is a song about an old friend of mine. His name was Tex. He was a big old fat-headed blue heeler cow dog that I lost years ago. But for 16 years, he was like my best buddy. But one day we were just out behind the house, the wife and me and Tex, just kind of messing around. The sun was going down. It was about time for the chickens to roost, and there was about 30 of them in the yard by the hen house. And I just kind of kidding around, and I looked at Tex, and I pointed at the chickens. I said, Tex, put them up. And he did. He put them up. Didn't touch a one. Put them all in the hen house to bed. And I looked at Carrie Delina. I said, man, that's going to have to be a song someday. And so here it is, Tex with the chicken herding cow dog. Well, he's a chicken herding cow dog, and I know that sounds absurd, but he can turn and pin up all the poultry in his herd. Hail from Bastrop, Texas, down in the piney wood. a little white tornado just weaned and looking good. Well, he made a go at horses, gave the cows his best, but he could not seem to work four-legged critters like the rest. No, he couldn't load a trailer, break a bottleneck, or heel a cow, but he beat all I ever saw when he commenced to working foul. Smartest dog that ever walked, I'd wager quite a lot, but wrangling was the only trick he never really got. With a friendly growl and a turned up lip, he'd bump you with his head. And if you listen with your eyes, you knew just what he said. I'm a chicken herding cat dog, and I know it just ain't right, but in my dreams I'm running with the top dogs every night. And if you had a penny for every time I save your guinea, then you'd begin to understand the nature of my plight. Well, he knows there's something missing, but he's learned to just make do with what he got. And when you're starting out with nothing, a little something could turn out to mean a lot. Well, 16 years and counting, he saw the lost as win. His eyes are gray and cloudy, and his knees won't hardly bend. Red-tailed hawks, the coyotes, skunks, the coons and cats learn how to mind their manners when they know Texas on the prowl. He's a chicken herding cat dog, and I know that sounds absurd, but he can turn and pin up all the poultry in his herd. He hails from Bastrop, Texas, down in the piney wood, a little white tornado just wings. Looking good. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. That concludes this evening's first of the three-part series for